Our winter sports schedule at CPHS Channel 6 is alive and well, with hockey rolling right along. And to many people, this right here is the early indication every single year that basketball is also up and running. As the annual beginning of the season, Ed Peltz Memorial Boys Basketball Tournament kicks off tonight. And tonight it's the rivalry game, the Port Huron High Big Reds versus the Port Huron Northern Huskies. Christmas is just under a week away, but don't worry about being naughty or nice tonight. I'm not Santa, I'm the Big D. And I guarantee you one thing, whether it's Port Huron Northern or Port Huron High, one of these two teams tonight will get ho-ho hot with the rock. Good evening again, everybody. CPHS Channel 6, the Port Huron Area School District television station. Derek Wark, the Big D. Again, this is the Ed Peltz Memorial. Off the draw very quickly, up and in. Oh, sick off the draw immediately. Bobby Wright, I guess the price is right. And then some, 2-0 already. Big Reds, and then a steal. They try to go quickly up court, but Welsh settles that down right away, and it's out on Jared Welsh, leading scorer for the Huskies. Well, this is a 4-game tournament between Croslex, St. Clair, and both the Port Huron teams, with 2 beginning games, then a consolation game and a finals as well on Saturday afternoon, December the 20th. This, of course, the 19th. The winner of this game will face the winner of the Croslex St. Clair game, which, by the way, was all St. Clair a little bit earlier. This also includes the freshman and JV teams as well, so every basketball team going for all of these schools. Here's a pull-up jumper from way out. You can count it. Yes, that is a 3 for number 11, Javon Thomason. He can do a number of things. Very dynamic guard. He can certainly put it up. An aggressive player can take the lane. There's a lot that Thompson can do. And he nails the 3. Back the other way, quick foul, Jermaine Drake, his first personal. As just underway, 7-10 to go in the first, 5-0 Big Reds. A 2 and a 3. Backdoor feed, something Coach Jamieson and his offense certainly has been known for, but they couldn't control the pass. It's out of bounds on the Huskies and back quickly. Big Red basketball. 21, Jermaine Drake at point guard right now, out there with Javon Thomas and Bobby Wright. As well, 24, Zach Lee. And Tremaine Lee. Thomason looking for Tremaine Lee, just threw it away, and it's going to be Husky basketball. Well, keys to the game, obviously, the Big Reds, they're going to try and blow them out. They're going to crash the boards, use their depth, use their size, use their talent. They've got a ton of it. Lots of returning talent, lots of senior talent, as you're aware. The Huskies, they're going to try to keep it close, outside shooting like we have right now. Pull up 3, no. Battle for the rebound, outlast on Thomason, and the Huskies will have the basketball. Again, outside shooting, slow down the momentum, move the ball around quickly when you have it offensively, and aggressive defense, certainly a staple of Coach Jamieson and his systems. 6:35 left to go in the first, 5-0. Big Reds on top. Jared Welsh stops, starts, can't quite get it to go, gets a rebound, no. Tap in, try Martindale. Rebound Lee down low. And Big Reds have it up 5 and the ball. Huskies still scoreless. Trying to take it in hard is Lee. Pretty good swipe away play there by the Huskies. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6. Early Merry Christmas to you and yours. This one inbound ball. Looks like it might have an up and down here. Huskies have the ball nonetheless. And they're looking for their first 2 here in the game. Just started from Port Huron Northern, where matchup number 1 between these two teams this season being held. Welsh off dribble, nice move. Takes it in, fouled first, no hoop. And it's yet another personal foul against the Big Reds. Well, those Big Reds currently 1-0 on the year, coached by Kevin Landshut. He claims one of the big keys in 2014 is to become a more disciplined basketball team. Certainly that's been their, tell-all for a long time now. Both these teams play out of the MAC Blue. Despite it being Ed Peltz, I believe, a MAC Blue sanctioned contest. This from way out, Jared Welsh. Get used to it, folks. He's their big scorer. You could argue really their only scorer. And a lot of this tonight, the success for the Huskies depends on him and his outside shooting. Well, Bobby Wright trying to force something down low. Calling a push-off. He's a post-up player. That's what he tries to do. You don't have a lot of guys at this level willing to post up. Certainly with post-up moves, he's one guy that can do it. For that reason, a good inside-outside game for this talented Big Red team. A 2 and then a 3 and then an answer for Welsh. and it's a 5-3 lead now. Big Reds up a deuce. 5:26 to go in the first. Welsh has the basketball now. A three. Here's another look at a three. Yes! Gives the Huskies the lead. Well, pretty simple. You know he's their leading scorer. You know he's going to put those shots up. If you have to double him, go ahead. Thing is, if you do double him, he'll bait you because they like to do the backdoor feed, as we've seen once already. This from way out, an NBA three. Thomas in the miss off front of the rim. Rebound, Billy Falco, and Falco's got it now. Well, now they do double him. Now see, they're adjusting immediately as Martindale has it now. Welsh wants it back. Top side, they leave him alone. Now he takes the lane, bumped a bit, and fouled as he tried for the layup. Well, the Big Reds went 8-13 last season. I would say, you know, for as deep and as talented a roster as this team is, that record really is unacceptable. Team is loaded with talent and depth top to bottom. Here you go. They rotate 10 men, 8 of the 10 are seniors, 9 of them returning players, and you could argue the 5 they bring in off the bench could start. So that's quite nice for Coach Landshut, to say the least. Of course, Coach Jamieson for the Huskies as well. We'll talk about the Huskies here in a moment. At the line is Welsh. Missed the first. Here he goes for the second. Nice late scream by some Big Red fans to try and throw Welsh's second free throw shot off, but he got the second. And Huskies now up by a basket, 7-5 after an early 5-0 run. Big Reds, here's a backdoor feed. Big man to big man. Tremaine Lee gets the easy one off the glass, and it's a 7-0 game. Bit of a full court look now by the Big Reds. They do a little bit of everything. They'll do some full court trap every now and then. They'll go zone play, sometimes man to man. There's a lot of options for this team because they've got everything. Inside, outside game. They've got size, they've got shooting, they've got it everywhere. It's just a matter of now putting it together. This one stolen by Lee, guarded heavily too. Nice play. Thomason back, fast break, but great play. Getting back is Jared Welsh down low. Let's see what they call. I think Big Reds are going to keep it here. Thomason, the point guard and leader from there. Aggressive Tremaine Lee, got the deuce a minute ago. Zach Lee, Malik Mason. Key, all-around talented players. Off the inbound ball now, Thomason. Looked like maybe a reaching in call here by Aaron Martindale. Strong football player, by the way, Martindale. Had a great year for the Huskies. And you know Big D loves football, so I'm going to mention these football players anytime I can, even though we're on the court tonight. There is a great high glass play by Thomason off the throw-in, just like that, a 9-7 game. Offenses like this, they strike quick when you've got lots of talent and speed, and the size, of course, to go with it. Phil Cole bounce feed, wanted to give and go. Tanton Elliott with it. Now back to Phil Cole, top side. Guarded by Tremaine Lee. Now Martindale, now way out. Welsh turning gun three, got it to go. Jared Welsh on fire from behind the mark so far. 10-9. 3 of them so far. And he's got all their scoring. Tough to defend a shot like that, really. Well, this is what I think the Big Reds have to do more of tonight. Keep attacking the glass. Go right after them. Taking it in fearless there, number 24, Zach Lee, another senior on this team. And just like that, it's 11-10 now. Big Reds on top, the 1-point game. Husky basketball. Welsh trying to take it in, guarded closely by the Big Reds. And it's a call against the Huskies. Big Red's going to have the basketball. 3:06 left in the first. And now some check-ins. Malik Mason among them as well. Number 3, Willie Jefferson. The key is to play to potential. Again, athletic, dynamic. Just play to potential. Fighting down low for the rebound is big Tyler Lee, number 35. What a luxury he is to have, too. Great big body. They don't give the height and the weight on these rosters, but certainly big kid and a young kid, too, listed as just a sophomore, and he's to the line now as he was fouled there by number 50, Spencer Vassbinder, his second, and team second. Tyler Lee puts up the first, gets it. 12-10, Big Reds, the lead by 2. Well, the Port Huron Northern Huskies, they come in at 0-1, and I can't figure out the 0-1. I'll tell you why in a minute. Coached by Brian Jamieson. In terms of having it upstairs, he's as good as they come. Very smart guy. Good coach here, well-respected coach for a long time around here. Is pretty good shooting by the big man there. 35 at the line, Tyler Lee. Certainly free throws a skill a lot of big men don't often possess, but he certainly does. 13-10. Big Reds now a 3-point lead. Inbound ball, 22 Elliott with it, guarded closely by Mason. Strong secondary player on the field as well for football. Thomason, that's a 2-on-1. The feed to Thomason, tried to get fancy. Deflected mostly by the rim there, tried the one-hand grab. Showtime at Northern. Good rebound attempt here, Mason. Hustling, aggressive, athletic as you'd expect. They double Fiocco, actually checked that 22 Tanton Elliott, but he gets it to Martindale. Martindale has it, nice fake feed, Big Reds bought it, and the layup for Martindale. It's a 13-12 game. Final 2:15 left in the first. 13-12 Big Reds, barely holding on. Thomason now, kicked out, way out. Long three for Willie Jefferson, gets it off the back of the rim. Now Aaron Martindale calmly stops. That's key too. You don't want to get into a run and gun game with this Big Red team. You want to slow the pace down if you're the Huskies. You want to go half court, lots of outside perimeter shooting, lots of three-point stuff. They're doing that already. Welsh, most of their points. Martindale, by the way, there on the shot try fouled, and he will go to the stripe. Well, just like the Big Reds, our Huskies and our Big Reds, the Huskies play out of the MAC Blue. 6-15 a season ago as we see Martindale hit the first. They have rebuilding to do. They lost 7 seniors for this year. However, 2 of their better players returning. This guy right here, number 3, Martindale. And I don't have to tell you, of course, how great Jared Welsh is. Leading scorer from a season ago, and thus far this season as well, despite the fact they've only played 1 game. Other keys to mention, Tanton Elliott, another key guard for these Huskies. Artez Hadley. Don't forget the importance of big Spencer Vastbinder too, because these Huskies are a smaller squad, and he gives them the size that they lack overall as a team. Not so much in terms of height, but certainly in terms of big guy. They need him down there to be a big center. Thomason kicks it out. Now Zach Lee takes it in hard again off the glass. Kind of rushed it a little bit. Back quickly. Jared Welsh, we're tied 13-all. Final minute and a half now. Martindale thought about putting up the shot, now takes it in. Now backhand pass, wide open for a moment. Puts it up, gets his own rebound. Nick Miller again. Pretty good effort by Nick. Not a real good shot, but got his own offensive rebound. Big key too for the Huskies in this game, snag as many rebounds as you can, off and on. That's another strength of the Big Reds. Bigger, more athletic, they get a lot of offensive rebounds. You out-rebound the Big Reds. Certainly, that's playing basketball, because that is not easily done. Minute 25 to go in the first. Nick Miller missed the first. Foul, by the way, on number 35 of the Big Reds there, Tyler Lee. First personal, already team 6th foul. They're going to be in foul trouble here shortly. It's a 1-and-1 the next time. This one in and out, still going to be 13-all. Miller missed them both. Final minute 20 left. Dead even. Neither team really that hot with the rock in the first quarter, although Jared Welsh certainly was heating up. Thomason from way out, that just missed. Ending up with the rebound is 22 Elliott. Now to Welsh. We're to our final minute now. Surprising how well the Huskies have looked, I think, in this quarter. They just want to hang around with the Big Reds. So far, they're certainly doing that. Welsh putting up another one. Couldn't get the kind bounce there. Only Huskies there for the rebound there as Artez Hadley gets it with plenty of time. Miller, backdoor feed, Hadley, but he stepped on the line with the ball and they're out of bounds. Well, again, the Huskies really, they need to shoot the ball well to be a successful basketball team because of the lack of size and, again, a lack of inside scoring. But they rely on their outside shooting, particularly from the threes. I would think if you play for Coach Jamieson, you've got to put up threes. Great offensive rebound here, still fighting for it down low. Nick Miller, though, ends up with the rebound. How that stayed out for Tyler Lee, I'll never know, but final 15 seconds, now 14 of the first quarter. They're going to hold for last shot. Welsh has it. Kicks it out, wide open look at a three. No, missed everything. But Miller ends up in his hands. Up, down, but fouled. You could almost argue an up and down there on Miller first before he even made contact with him. Looked like the pivot foot kind of did go up and down, but good call on the foul. Tyler Lee gets it. And his second personal. They're in the penalty now. I believe this is two shot regardless. Miller, he put up the first when he got it. 14-13, a 1 point lead for Port Huron Northern. Are you shocked by this? It's a good shock for the Huskies and the Pack over there that are loving this one. Great turnout as always for the Pack. They've got to be happy. 15-13, final 4.4 seconds. Now 2, now 1. Jermaine Drake puts it up and almost got it. A nice try right at the buzzer, but got the back of the rim. After one from Port Huron Northern, the Battle of Port Huron on the basketball court. It's Port Huron Northern 15 and Port Huron High 13. Derek Work, Big D, CPHS Channel 6. And we'll stay here as we have the break. Quarter end. Well, again, Port Huron Northern, 56-35, they lost to St. Pat's from Big D's home, Sarnia. You got it. Last week, pretty well dead even, 21 all at the half, and even at 28 at one point, but St. Pat's pulled away late in that game. My question is, though, why does that game even count? Why is it even sanctioned? Why, after they play St. Pat's from Sarnia, are they 0-1? The fact is, in Canada, basketball's been going a month and a half, almost 2 months now. St. Pat's comes into that game having played 16 games already. 16. They were 13-3 coming into that one in the 16. For Northern, it was just game number 1. So how fair is that really? I don't care how talented you are. I mean, if you're a team and you've played 17 games versus a team playing in their first one, that's considered fair and it counts, does it? Well, I don't get it, but the Huskies had every chance of winning that game. 18-6 lead at one point. Lots of turnovers led to the Husky downfall. St. Pat's put together a 13-0 run to battle back. It was all Huskies out off the bat, but they choked in the fourth and just one field goal, and that came in the final 30 seconds apparently. Fourth quarter scoring 21-2 for St. Pat's, and really that says it all. Welsh in that one though, 20 points, nothing new. He definitely gets hot with the rock. And Brett Manis as well, he got 5 for Northern. Port Huron in their last game here we'll talk about as this one goes along. But first, beginning of the second. Second quarter from Port Huron Northern. 15-13 Huskies on top. Strong first quarter by their standards. This often happens. Big Red's not a team that always plays to potential, but they've got a ton of it. Huskies very aggressive. Again, defense leads to offense. You've got great outside shooting. Does it continue? Well, they've got to guard the perimeter shooters a lot closer for starters, including this guy right here, Welsh. 3 threes in that first quarter. This one's off Zach Lee. Good man-to-man coverage there. On number 4, Brett Manis, who has checked in for the Huskies. Hadley inbounds the ball to Welsh. There you see some Big Red fans and their dancing techniques. Big D won't be trying that because he's not a dancer, that's why. Manis, down low feed. Hadley thinking about posting. Now they kick it out again. That's not their game. Martindale now to Manis. Thought about putting one up. Now they give it to Welsh. Welsh on the pick and roll. Puts up another one from way out, and they're saying another 3. Welsh can flat out shoot the basketball, and you cannot let him beat you if you're the Big Reds. With the ball, nice off middle. Dribble there, Willie Jefferson can't get that one to go. Welsh, quickly up court. Stolen instead, Zach Lee. Lee for the Big Reds. Martindale tried to get the charge. Might have slightly disrupted Zach Lee's shot, couldn't get that one. But still, good aggressive play by Lee to get that ball back as Martindale going up court lost the ball. Getting sloppier now. Drake off the high glass. Made it look easy that time, baby. Easy looking layup. Jermaine Drake. 18-15. for the Huskies. That's right, a 3-point lead for the underdogs here. There's going to be a holding call. Big Reds try the full court trap here on Welsh. Couldn't get away with that hold. Don't look now, 18 fouls for the Big Reds. 8. They've only really played 10 minutes, not even, of scoreboard basketball here, so that might certainly come in to be a factor here for the rest of this half. Well, it is already. Really just one and one foul to give, and then you're looking at the 2-shot penalty here. Anyway, Welsh at the line, leading scorer in the entire game. Obviously, Big D not known for his stat-taking abilities. 1-and-1 look here, Welsh at the line, got the first, 19-15. Trying to put the Huskies up by 5. Nice to see the Huskies playing really aggressive. You'd expect that from Coach Jamieson. Certainly this is a game both teams will circle on their calendars for a long time. They'll play again in PH somewhere down the line next year. This season, of course, but next year. Number 3 there, Willie Jefferson. Nice one off the glass. 2017, a 3-point lead now. Huskies. Welsh, off dribble. Nice try, but he gets hacked. No call. Not so sure that was all ball. Thomason, no look. Zach Lee, off dribble. Done it a few times tonight. Does it again this time tonight. Off the glass, it's a 1-point game, 2019. Well, they've got some guys that can really play, and they're big guys too, so you have to take advantage of your size and speed. Attack the glass because of it, especially in a matchup like this. Martindale, nice spin move, and he got it. Faking out the D nicely. He's a great athlete. Again, we saw it on the football field. End-to-end Jefferson layup, late call, but he got one. And he'll go to the line. Just the 3rd personal foul. The 3rd team foul, actually, on the Huskies. Versus 8 for the Big Reds. 8. Already. 3-point lead. Now Willie Jefferson at the line trying to cut into it. Pretty good crowd, especially on the Big Red side. The pack makes up most of the crowd on the Huskies side. Jefferson at the line, got the first, 22-20. Puts up the next, no, back of the rim. Rebound, Zach Lee. There's the offensive rebounding I'm talking about. Too hard on the shot though. Martindale, good speed the other way. Stops, puts it up, no. 12 rebound down low, Chapman. Now they fight for it. Looks like the Huskies call timeout. It's an excellent effort. Not too sure they wanted to waste one there, but 4, good effort nonetheless. Brett Manis to get the timeout. Made sure that the Huskies will get it coming off of it. Well, Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS, Channel 6, the Port Huron Area School District television station, and of course, Big Red and Husky Basketball Network. BigDSports.info, my own personal website, where I write up about all these games I do play-by-play for. BigDSports.info. The way I see it is, why not? I'm here, I'm announcing. I got nothing better to do, so why not write about it? BigDSports.info. Of course, we at Channel 6, we're on Vimeo.com as well. Just go to Vimeo, type in CPHS, Channel 6 Port Huron, and our page is up there. All the past Big D games, but there's so much more on there than that. Check it out at Vimeo.com, CPHS Channel 6. Well, Big Reds have battled back in this game. Huskies doing a good job just to maintain the lead here, and really their focus. Right when I say that, though, stolen off the inbound. Jefferson caught Welsh kind of sleeping there. Great layup play, the steal, the make. We're tied at 22. What a spark this number 3 Jefferson has provided these Big Reds here, coming in off the bench. Just another in the long list of names. This roster, you can go right up and down from A to Z with it. And again, there's a 10-man rotation for Coach Landshut. Down low, size mismatch. Anytime you got one like that, Manis on Tremaine Lee. You got to commend him just for drawing that foul, and he did. Second personal on Tremaine Lee, the 9th team foul. So one more, and throughout the rest of the first half here, they'll be shooting a couple. 2-shot foul here anyway. Falco checking back in now for the Huskies. 21 as well, Jermaine Drake back in. Didn't sit for too long. The speedy guard is Drake. That guy can flat out fly. If he gets a chance in this game, I'm sure he'll show it. Nice try by Martindale on the offensive tap-in rebound, but couldn't get it. Thomason with the ball now. Just over 4 minutes to go in the second. 22-22. Indeed, the twos are wild on the scoreboard. Zach Lee thought about taking it in. Now instead Thomason again. Jefferson got the hot hand. Gonna stop, puts it up, and no. That one just didn't want to go in. Rattled in and out. Welsh brings it up court. Leading scorer in the game so far. Down low feed, gets it from Miller. Now back out Falco. 22 Elliott, but it's stolen. One too many passes perhaps. 24 Zach Lee. Across the way Jermaine Drake. Speedy Drake thinks about taking the lane. Now it's Thomason. Now they get it into Lee. From behind though, good defense. Huskies swiped out. Thomason thinks they touched it last. The Huskies did, and he looks like he was correct. Great pace to this game. I think if you're the Huskies, you gotta like how it's really played out. Welsh has to maintain shooting hot from the outside though. We'll see if that can last here. Drake, off dribble. Kickoff feed, Willie Jefferson, now an open Zach Lee, gonna put it up. Big man, yep. All net, Zach Lee, 24, there you go. The three from deep. Certainly you're a big guy, you're fast. A lot of skill when you can put up the 3-2. Thomason the steal. Tried the no-look pass. Jefferson, now to Drake. Drake from way out two, didn't get any rim. For Brett Manis. Puts it up to tie the game, no. Nice tap-in rebound, nobody there for the Big Reds. Certainly a few Huskies down there. Tanton Elliott, the 6'2 senior, one of them, and he gets it. 1 point lead Big Reds, 25-24. 2:23 left to go in the second. Big Reds in constant foul trouble for this first half. Drake fouled. Well, Port Huron's last game, they beat Marysville on Tuesday night. Big D couldn't be here. Car trouble. Sleigh trouble, if you will. I told you earlier, I'm not Santa Claus. I had no elves to fix the sleigh/car, so I couldn't make it. But thanks to Carl Stafford, by the way, for filling in for me. Did a nice job for CPHS, Channel 6. Drake missed the first one. They check in Vassbinder again. Drake to try and give the Big Reds a 2-point lead here. They didn't believe it was a real impressive victory over Marysville. 41-35, a 6-point win, but hey, they'll take it. A win is a win. Great individual effort here by Jermaine Drake, and where's he running to? Looks like he's almost running right out of the gym, period. But he's fast. Look out down there. Looks like he just missed that lady there, concession girl. Anyway, the throw in. Drake missed him from the line. 25-24, Big Reds up one. More on that Big Red Marysville game in a little bit. 3-point try. Fielko couldn't get it to go. Nice feed to Welsh. Now across the way, Martindale. Wide open look, couldn't get it. No rim even. Vassbinder fighting for the rebound hard, laying down. Quickly up, Jefferson, Big Reds, nice move. Can't get it, forced it in up the rim. Rebound in the hands of Welsh. Final minute 38 to go. First half of play. Welsh thinks about putting up another one. Thomason, good defense. They leave Martindale alone again. Can't get that one to go. Tried to get his own rebound, ends up in Drake's hands. Fast break basketball, Big Reds, no. Jefferson tried off the glass again, couldn't get it. Back and forth game now. Welsh trying to cool things off a little bit. Good off the dribble move. loses the basketball. It's going to be Big Reds to keep it or to get it back. Well, 8-1 at one point in that game. 8-3 after the first quarter. That's all Marysville had in quarter number one in that one. Just a 3-point first. And the first 7 minutes of the opening quarter, Marysville was shut out. So those three came in the final minute of that first quarter. 17-7 at the half, mainly due to free throw shooting of Marysville. They weren't getting any field goals, that's for sure. Bounce feed goes through the legs and through everybody, really. Brandon Doan, who was checked in for the Huskies. And it's out on the Big Reds, Huskies to keep it. Marysville did come on late in the game in that one. They battled back to 22-19 at one point. But Marysville's big player, point guard Deshaun Kelly, he's been lighting them up. He got 18 versus St. Clair, 16 versus Algonac. Apparently only 8 versus PH, so that tells you right there, great defense. Bobby Wright, 13, Tremaine Lee, 11, and Javon Thomason, 10 in the win. For the Big Reds, 1-0 coming into this one, and again, Huskies, the loss to St. Pat's of Sarnia, and a blowout victory by them. 0-1 coming into this one. Final 20 seconds, Huskies holding for last shot here of the first half. Luckily for the Big Reds, they were in foul trouble all first half. They tended to avoid it though. Vassbinder ends up with an easy one, quickly off the high glass, and he gives the Huskies the lead, 26-25. More of a look what I found play. Good presence of mind there by Vassbinder because he gets it and he's quick with it. It didn't stay in his hands for long. Smart. Everything you got to do fast. You're always thinking fast. Final 5 seconds. Thomason's got to think fast. 3, now 2, puts up the long 3. No, that's going to be too short, and that, folks, will be the end of the first half. I think if you're the Port Huron Northern Huskies, you have to like how that first half went. If you're the Big Reds, not so much, and not just because of the scoreboard either, as the Huskies at 26-25 lead after the first half. From Port Huron Northern, Derek Work, the Big D for CPHS. Back with the third in a moment. Welcome back. Second half action from Port Huron Northern. We're after one. Huskies shocking the Big Reds. 26-25, a 1-point lead at the break. Halftime stats brought to you by the folks at CPHS Channel 6. And my good man sitting next to me, legendary Dennis Stuckey here, taking the stats down for the Big D, who doesn't really have a statistician here, but I do now. Leading scorer in the game, Port Huron Northern, is Welsh, 15 points. Martindale, 5 as well for Port Huron. Zach Lee, 7, Thomason and Jefferson each have 5. And a big stat from Dennis as well. Welsh has 35 of 61 points for the Huskies that they've scored in 6 quarters. So that's quite the stat. Foul trouble, really just a couple of Big Reds to mention. Wright, Tremaine Lee, Mason, and Zach Lee all have 2 personals. Vassbinder, the only one for the Huskies worth mentioning there for fouls, as he has 2 as well. Back to the action here. Third quarter underway, down low immediately, off the glass. Good move by number 1, Bobby Wright. Didn't get a lot of playing time in that first quarter, if at all. I don't remember much of Bobby. Got the first hoop, I think, and then kind of shut out, but he's right away, right there a minute ago. And he likes to mix it up down low. Kind of got an inside game, physical game at that. Well, football player, of course he's got a physical game, Big D. This one thrown away. Welsh looks over in disgust. 27-26, Big Reds have come out with the early deuce and now the lead as Thomason has it. 7:18 left in the third, 27-26. There's a floater pass. Huskies end up with the steal, but it's out on the Huskies as they ran out of room on the backside. Well, both these teams, the Big Reds and the Huskies, play out of the Mac Blue with Grosse Pointe South, Mount Clemens, Fraser, Port Huron Northern, of course, tonight here, Anchor Bay, and Utica. So packed division as always. Packed with talent. It's a good Mac Blue. Basketball, always good competition. Vastbinder, I don't know how it was too long. Well, now they called it late. Well, you've got to get rid of that ball quicker than that. 5-second rule on Vastbinder called. And it's going to be Big Red basketball just like that. Coach Landshut and the entire Big Red bench, they love that. That means good, strong defensive effort. And mainly in that case, your positioning. Right down low. Here's the post play. No. Almost forced it up. Couldn't get the fine roll there. Back comes Martindale. Nice move on Drake. Had him flat-footed and stopped, but couldn't get it to go. Now from way out. That would have bounced off top of the rim and then top of the net, which is out of play. Tanton Elliott, pretty good look at the three there, but couldn't get that one. Thomason now, calmly bringing it up court. Big Reds the lead by one and the ball. Now Drake. And now Thomason has it again, guarded by Welsh. Two great players here. Thomason, you can count it. And the foul. Not a good start for the Huskies here. And there's two women, look like they're having a bit of a disagreement about it. They'd agree with me to disagree. Yeah. Getting heated. Maybe. Javon Thomason at the line. Got the make. Can he get the free throw? But this is as good as a free throw. Offensive rebound, Big Reds. Nope. Jermaine Drake loses it. Here he is, the speed to get back. Martindale somehow kept it. Great fake move, gets his own offensive rebound, can't get that. Somehow Martindale still ends up with the basketball, but a whistle first as 22 Tanton Elliott got fouled before Martindale got it. And Martindale got that ball and a big sigh of disgust there. He can't believe he missed it. Had a couple of decent looks, especially off the rebound. Welsh from way out. Leading scorer in the game, he had 15 at the half. Tap out rebound try by Vastbinder. Coach Jamieson didn't like that one. Great spin move, Jefferson, show and go. Gets his own rebound though. Three Huskies underneath. Jefferson thinks he was fouled. Instead though, Martindale fakes a pass, now guarded by both of them. Drake tried the backdoor steal, couldn't get it. Vastbinder stops, puts it up, foul. Vastbinder looks over at Coach Jamieson this time and he says, "That's more like it, Spencer." Good stuff. Big Vastbinder to the line. Big talented linebacker on the football field for Coach Connell, as you're aware. Here he is at the line in basketball. Puts up the first, misses. A 3-point lead, Big Reds, 29-26 with 5:40 to go in the third. Third personal foul there, by the way, on Tremaine Lee. Second team foul for the Big Reds. They were in foul trouble very early in the second quarter in this game. Ended up with just 9 team fouls as the half ended, but they had 6 and 7 very early. Thomason again, had a good look a minute ago. Even better look this time, that's only a 2. And it's 31-27. Big Reds the 4-point lead. If you're the Huskies, you can't let this get out of control. Gotta play your game. A hard pick there, Vastbinder on Bobby Wright. Wright just laughs, and as he laughs, 14. Billy Fieldcole hits the tray, and just like that, a 1-point game. Drake, the answer 3, yes! Well, Fieldcole was loving it a minute ago. After a great shot, but the answer from Drake. A 34-30 game, a 4-point lead Huskies. Guarded closely by Jefferson. You gotta like this Willie Jefferson and how he's played in this game. Very aggressive player. Annoying for the Huskies, that's what you like to see. Here's a guy annoying for everybody he plays against, and that's a big reason why. Gerald Welsh yet again from the outside. Simply put, if he is not guarded, if he gets any kind of a strong open look, it doesn't even matter from out beyond the arc where he shoots it from. He will fill it. And he did there. Bobby Wright. Not his game from the outside. Pick and roll now. Instead, they stop and they think about it with 4:08 left in the third. Zach Lee has it stolen by Aaron Martindale. Martindale, spin move on Lee. Nice layup try. Can't get it though. Zach Lee, there's those long arms where they come into play because he's fighting hard for the rebound there with Vassbinder. But his arms are longer, so he gets up there quicker. Good effort there by Martindale and the Huskies, really. They want to hang around. This is the recipe for success for the Port Huron Northern Huskies. The Big Reds, they said earlier, that it's not a big shock. They think they can blow them out. They're going to come in here with the idea they're going to blow them out. That's just the way they think, and why not? They've got all the talent in the world, the depth, dynamic players, the strong athletes. But right now you're seeing the Huskies clawing, fighting, doing anything they can in this game to hang around. And so far it's working. 3:57 left on the third quarter clock. This is CPHS. Channel 6, Big D, Derek Wark. Being big, it's a state of mind. And our final broadcast before Christmas. So if I forget, and I might because I'm getting old and forgetful these days, early Merry Christmas to you and yours, certainly. Or as I always say to my friends, Merry Christmas, Happy Sioux Year. Yeah, there you go. As we see the Big Red bench again. They don't look that happy right now. Whereas Huskies, I think they've got reason to be happy the way this game has gone. They're answering Big Red hoops with hoops of their own. Well, both teams right now, since this quarter began, have answered the other nicely. A real back and forth struggle. Again, with Welsh's 15 at the half, the leading scorer in the game, has had another three here in the third. 34-33, back to this one. Again, CPHS, the Port Huron Area School District television station, and of course, Husky Big Red Basketball Network. Crossway pass, nice feed down low to Bobby Wright, guarded closely. 1, 2, and 3 players on him. That pass did not get through to Thomason. Instead, Martindale has it, takes it in, yes, off the glass. Coach Jamieson loved that. He gets up and cheers as the Huskies again, a 1-point lead. Thomason, yes, the kind bounce and the answer. What do you do about that if you're the Huskies? You get a hard-nosed hoop from Martindale. You're back there, you're defending okay. It's just the big size of Thomason leaning up, big jump shot from way out, got it. That's hard to defend. If it goes, and it did. Martindale, front of the rim, but big Vassbinder there for the rebound, forced it. Another rebound, 22 there. Tanton Elliott, but whacked from behind by Bobby Wright. Elliott to the line. Foul is on Wright again. Third personal, third team. And right now, 22, Tanton Elliott's a chance to tie this game up as he's got a couple of free throws and he hits the first. Again, a great crowd, Big Red side, considering they're the visitors. Huskies, good job of their own of that, especially the Pack, very loud. And the Pack are doing everything but almost dancing on the court. They're about as close as you can get to being on the court. Coach Jamieson's little guy doing a lot of dancing and jigs around down there. Anyway, 37 all. Huskies have tied it. Drake for the lead, no. For the rebound, battle for it. Outlast, they're saying, on the Big Reds. Husky basketball. Couple fans there. Brought their kids out tonight too, enjoying the basketball game. Another example, lots of little kids here tonight. They just want the popcorn. See, they want the good grub. They want the food. That's what they're here for. Timeout. On the court, it's the Big Reds, 37-37. Huskies really need to pat themselves on the back, playing a fine game. What they want to do again is hang around, and so far, so good. Clutch, claw, grab, do anything you can to get these baskets. And it's working. But some definite aggressive play. Players like, Martindale, as you'd expect. He's all over the court, really. Vassbinder down low. Would like to have that last offensive rebound back, I think. But it's the aggressive play all over the court that I think is where the Huskies are at their best. Transition basketball. Because when you don't have a lot of offensive options, defense has to lead to offense. A tie game again, 37-all, inbound pass. It goes deep, almost catches the Big Reds. Mason bumps him, and he bumps him by the looks of things. Out of bounds, standing right on the line was Manis. Good defensive play there by Malik Mason. Another strong football player, likes to mix it up a bit, likes to bump. You can always tell the football players. They're physical, they don't mind getting involved a little bit. Big key, especially in basketball too. Thomason walked. Not much argument from him, he knew it. Crowd didn't really like it. Couldn't ask for a better game here. Dead even at 37. It's been 37-all for a little bit now in this game. Drake guarding pretty closely here. Guarding 14, field goal pretty closely. Here's that matchup again. Now to Welsh, they're not letting him shoot it for anything. Boy, did they get to him outside quick. Not an open jumper there. Now they try the pick and roll, trying to get Welsh free. Welsh has it again, crossover dribble, nicely done. No look pass, down low, yes. Brett Manis. Telltale example right there of how Welsh completely draws the D, leaving a man open. That was 4 waiting for it. Brett Manis down low, and he got it. Pull-up jumper, Thomason. Huskies the 2-point lead, now fast breaking 2. Jermaine Drake, folks, is fast. I said it earlier, we will see an instance in this game where he comes back quick. Like the Roadrunner there. Well, this just can't happen if you're the Big Reds. You let Jared Welsh escape on the inbound ball and the easy layup. You can't let that happen. 4-point lead now, Huskies. Quickly, Bobby Wright down low, fouled.
Huskies foul number 4, Brett Manis, his second.
So Manis, after a key hoop to put the Huskies up 4. That's right, you heard me correctly. A 4-point lead, 41-37. Standing at the line now, watching Bobby Wright put up a couple free throws. First one missed. While Drake checks out, Tremaine Lee is back in now. A little bit more size added now to the Big Red lineup. Coach Jamieson has to be pleased with how this game has gone. Wright missed both free throws. Out of bounds, Big Reds. So everything going the Huskies' way right now with 1.5 minutes left in the third. In terms of talent and roster, I would say this would be quite an upset. And big for the Huskies coming off the loss to St. Pat's too. To maybe get a big win here, it can change your season.
Huskies number 20, Ryan Hunt is first.
Away from the ball foul on Ryan Hunt, who is also in now. I think maybe his first example of playing time here in this one. Lee guarded very closely. Strong defense, Huskies. They called the jump ball. Possession arrow favors the Huskies, so they're going to get it. Off the inbound now. 41-37. It seems like the Big Reds have had 37 points for an eternity here. Can't get nothing going offensively. A lot of this third has been a back and forth game though, really. Stolen here, Thomason. Quickly, Javon, yes. What do you want on your toast, Big D? I want jam. Final minute of the third. Gives a bit more life back in this Big Red offense as they trail now by just a basket. 41-39 to the Huskies. The Battle of Port Huron on the court. Who's getting hot with the rock? We'll find out in the fourth. As Huskies hold now for last shot. Final 22 seconds now. Jefferson tries for the steal. Field goal tries to catch him. Big Reds wanted the breakout there. They wanted the steal. They thought they had it. Now they stop again. Final 10 seconds. Now they've got to hurry. Hadley. Crossway Ryan Hunt. Now 6. Big Red fans trying to do a countdown here. of the incorrect score. Incorrect countdown. Given the 4-3-2-1 when there was 8 seconds left on the clock. Looked like it might have thrown them off, but a foul. And does he get 3 shots for this? That's the question. It's on Malik Mason, who already, his 3rd personal. And this is Manis at the line. Manis puts up the first, he gets it. Coming off the big dunk a minute ago, Javon Thomason tries to wake up the Big Red side. They seem pretty quiet right now. Lead is 3. A lot more scoring in this one than when the Big Reds beat Marysville earlier in the week. 43-39 as Welsh checks back in. He didn't sit for long for the final 4 seconds here. Almost the end of the 3rd. Javon Thomason gonna pick it up late. Final 3 seconds, now 2. Thomason, almost end to end, but he got fouled with 0.2 seconds left on the 3rd quarter clock. That's pretty smart heads-up basketball by Thomason to recognize how much time's left on that clock to take it in and still have time. Nobody tell Javon it's for the last shot. Nope, no sir. 43-40 now, 3-point lead Huskies. Have they been the better team? Not necessarily, but they are where it matters, the scoreboard. The lead is 2 now. They inbound the ball to Welsh, and that, folks, will do it for the 3rd quarter. So after 3 from Port Huron Northern, the Huskies a 2-point lead over the visiting Big Reds, 43-41. Derek Wark, the Big D, CPHS Channel 6. Being big is a state of mind in which Port Huron team will be bigger in the 4th. We'll see in just a moment. Well, coming into this basketball game tonight, a few things were obvious. Again, the depth of the Big Reds, the talent of them. I've said it all game long. The roster, they play a lot of players. 10-man rotation. The Huskies want to slow down the momentum, slow down the pace, get a half-court game. For a lot of that 3rd, it was just run and gun, back and forth kind of stuff. But I said they want to get a half-court game going because they want to set up, they want to get Welsh open looks at 3s and perimeter shooting. Big Reds, on the other hand, they want to go inside-outside game, attack from all over the place, try to blow them out, and take advantage of the size and attack on the glass, getting rebounds. But I think it's more geared towards the Huskies' game in this one. They're playing smarter. It looks like the Big Reds are really just trying to, lull themselves to victory here. And against an aggressive Husky defense like the one Coach Jamieson always has, well, that's not going to happen. I think they've really got to pick up their aggressive play. And there's a lot of Big Reds that get a lot of playing time, that's for sure. But a lot of them are also in foul trouble. That's the other thing, too. But if you're the Huskies, man, just keep on doing what you're doing. After 3 quarters, Welsh, the leading scorer, he's got 20 for Port Huron Northern. Aaron Martindale has 7 for the Big Reds. Javon Thomason, a nice 3rd for him, though. He has 16 total, and Zach Lee still has 7. Thanks to Dennis Stuckey, good quality statistician to my right here, getting me those ones. Big Reds try to work it inside. Instead, it ends up in Aaron Martindale's hands, and now to Welsh. 2-point lead in the ball, the Huskies. Final quarter here. Battle of Port Huron. Hot with the rock on the court. It's been Welsh. He's got 20. Had 20 the other night as well. Hadley, show and go layup. Jumped a little bit late, it looked like. Went off the front of the rim. Now quickly up court, Bobby Wright. But Thomason ends up with it. Fine, no look. Feed down low, Bobby Wright. The price is right, baby. From Javon Thomason, and man, that was pretty. Magic Johnson-esque right there. Look one way, backdoor feed the other. You leave the Huskies flat-footed going, huh? Well, there's another answer. The same type of play on the backdoor feed. Around the back. Big Reds ended up with it, though. Off the Hadley miss here. Malik Mason on the rebound. And the Big Reds will keep the ball now. Mason had it a moment ago. Now he's just going to throw it in Back to Thomason. Thomason easily the best Big Red in the third, I thought. Again, not a lot of consistent looks to their scoring, their trips down the court. Backdoor feed, dangerous, but Tremaine Lee caught it on the run. Alley-oop, and finally a lead for the Big Reds. They just seem so nonchalant, though, about how they're going about this to me. It seems like it's almost coming easy, but I don't think you can afford to play that kind of close game with this team. Although it is out on the Huskies here. And we'll see if maybe what experts said would come true here. Talent winning out now, or starting to. Coach Jamieson is not happy though right now. He calls a timeout. He does not like how his team came out. And there you see as he's going in. His team is hearing about it right now. There's a bit of a happier bench. But as I said, it's almost as if they're kind of approaching it like, you know, we can just kind of go out there, play a game. And it is a game, and they are playing well, but I don't think top-notch aggressive, but they're still winning. Shows you what talent can do. I think the Huskies on the other side have played a very aggressive game, except for that first couple of minutes here to begin the fourth. Other than that, they've probably been the more aggressive team, and believe me, they need to be. Well, they're later to come out the timeout. Ref going to go over there and tell Coach Jamieson to split this up. You can tell, though, he's really had a lot to say during this timeout. He was not happy at all with how the beginning of this fourth went. I think because, too, it was their game after the third. I think he felt like it was to win or lose, and now it's becoming the Big Red game again. Right when I say that, of course, the steal. Welsh with the ball. Welsh off dribble, and he's grabbed and dropped. Mason called for the foul.
Big Reds number 5, Tremaine Lee, his fourth.
Well, they called the foul on number 5, Tremaine Lee, and he's kind of like, well, why? Mason, I think, was supposed to get the call. This fooled the Big Reds, too. Wide open man again, Brett Manis. And credit Manis, because he's had a few easy looks at hoops tonight. He's just found the opening. Again, this is Thomason, and he's done this a couple of times. Just quickly up court, leaning shot, gets it. Because he's so tall, it's hard to defend. Welsh, hacked first. Oh, they're saying 2 shots, I think. Well, a real neck and neck game, back and forth, and you kind of get the feel here that it's going to come down to the wire regardless. And that's how the rivalry game should be played. Certainly football, it hasn't gone that way. In recent years, Port Huron has owned that rivalry. Certainly in hockey, Northern constantly owns that rivalry. There's the pack, some of the Husky crowd to my left. And there's Jared Welsh. Hit the first. Trying to hit the second and tie this basketball game. Puts it up, got it. 47s at the 5:50 mark of the fourth. Big Reds, Huskies tied up. Gotta love this. All we could ask for in the big rivalry game. Thomason thinks maybe he's feeling it, but off the rim, bounces high out of play. And Huskies will get the ball. Thomason claims he was hacked there first. Didn't get the call. Huskies now with the opportunity to get this lead back. A back and forth game. No team has pulled away. If anything in the early going, maybe the Big Reds had a chance, but Huskies have battled back. Backdoor feed. Coach Jamieson wanted a foul off the Welsh miss. Couldn't get it. Jefferson ends up with the ball and goes end to end. Well, I said it earlier. You got to like how number 3 plays. Another senior on this team. Well, Welsh had the ball. Knocked out from behind. Last touched, of course, Big Reds. Huskies now to throw it in. To inbound the ball, now it's stolen. Jefferson up Thomason, had to look behind him. A feed across, Malik Mason stepped out. Well, that's one I think you've got to be sure of because you're up court, you're fast breaking with men in numbers. If you even have to stop for a second, stop, you know. I think if he'd like to have that one over again, Thomason would just take it himself, maybe the layup. but they still have a 2-point lead, 49-47. With the ball, Fielko wanted the give and go there with Elliott. Tanton Elliott has it. Now to Manis. Manis down low. Tried the circus shot there to Fielko behind him, but right to Thomason. Looking behind him. Guarded closely by Fielko. Then they leave Thomason. Big no-no. Mid-range jumper, got it. In knowing that he's done this a few times in this game, if you're the Huskies, you cannot afford to let him have that look, especially from straight up. If anything from the side, they got a piece of this one. That was not a clear shot from Jared Welsh. So Big Red's now a 4-point lead, 51-47 in the ball. Mason. Now to Thomason. Thomason having a great game. I believe 20 points at this stage. Jefferson from out, just gets bottom of the mesh. Under 4 to go now in the fourth. And a 4-point lead, Big Reds. Bobby Wright guarding Elliott. Welsh, and now to Fielko. Again, Thomason. This game could come down to the defensive looks that the Huskies give Thomason. This is an easy layup. They didn't step in front of him to challenge him. It would have been a charge or maybe a block if they would have, but it hurts regardless there. So they let him have it. 51-49, 2-point lead. Thomason down low, great pass, Bobby Wright. The easy one, the look what I found. Wright's got some words for Manis too. Timeout Big Reds after the hoop, 53-49. Port Huron up 4 with 3:16 left in the fourth. Again, it's Big D Derek Work for CPHS. Well, if you've just joined us, really, the early shooting and then throughout really by Jared Welsh of the Huskies. As we've come to expect, if you're defending the Huskies, you just have to make sure somebody else on that team beats you. For the Big Reds, really the second half has been the Javon Thomason story offensively. There's been times in this game where the Big Reds really have had offensive issues. They haven't really looked sure of themselves coming down the court. Again, a lot of the third was spent, kind of a back and forth kind of game, not a lot of hoops, a lot of fast breaking, unsure of themselves setting up offensively. It's going to come down to Husky aggressive play. Again, I think it might come down to how well they defend Thomason top of the key. And of course, for the Big Reds, how well you defend Martindale taking the lane. Obviously, Welsh from deep outside the perimeter in this fourth. Here we go. Final 3:09 left in the fourth. 4-point lead again, Big Reds. Huskies have the ball, 53-49. Elliott now to Welsh. Welsh looks up at the net no matter where he is. He thinks he can hit it from just about anywhere. Bounce down low, stolen Malik Mason. Mason, fast breaking. Mason up and no. Waiting right there though is Bobby Wright for the rebound. Gets it, yes. Well, that's their strength, offensive rebounding. They've got the size. Wright certainly has the size. The lead is now 6. One of the biggest leads the Big Reds have had in this basketball game. Final 2.5. I would think Huskies have got to put something up here on this trip down. They've got to do it fairly quick. Welsh, off dribble. Stepping in call, I think, on Jefferson. A little bit of talking now. Welsh and Wright letting each other know how they feel, but 6-point lead, Big Reds. Trying to pull away here. All kinds of talking. Getting a little bit chippy down there too. That's why the talking, but it's a game of physical play. That's why you can always tell what guys play football. They're used to it. I can't say that enough. And you think, well, Big D, you just like football. You're a football guy. Well, yes, but physical play, it transfers over from sport to sport, especially in this one, where you have a lot of contact, take the lane, you get bumps, you get charges, you get blocking. Anyway, Welsh makes it a 4-point lead now, 55-51. Final 2:17. Big Reds certainly don't have to rush here. Malik Mason, the three, yes! That right there might have put him away as he gives a sign to the pack as he runs past them. Huge three, Malik. A 7-point lead, Big Reds now, 58-51 in our final two. And now it's become Huskies have to press offensively because they're running out of time here. Very tight guarding defense now. Welsh on the pick and roll try, doesn't work. Over now to Martindale, final minute 41. Martindale, they set a pick the other way. Screen and roll one way, screen and roll the other way. Down low Elliott, now Welsh thought about a three. Wasting a lot of time on this trip up court. Nice move, Welsh. Loses the ball, but it's right to Martindale. Look what I found down low, yes. And it's 58-53, a 5-point lead. Coach Jamieson right after the timeout. Again, don't forget, my personal blog, bigdsports.info. I'll write about this game when I have the time to. And why not? It's been a great one, a back and forth one. As the rivalry game, the big battle in basketball should be. I would expect nothing less in all sports with these two great schools. Again, this one being played at Northern. Later on in the year, it'll be at PH. And I think this game counts now as far as the MAC Blue goes. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. It never used to. They used to play each other 3 times. I'm not sure they do now. I think it's just twice, and this one counts. Thanks again to Dennis Stuckey for some great stats tonight. Thomason, by the way, has 20 now, but that's not comparable to Welsh and his big bad 24. Martindale has 11 as well for Northern, and Bobby Wright has 10. The biggest lead for either team in this game has only been 7 points. Right now it's 5 by the Big Reds, 58-53. Welsh puts it up. No, front of the rim, can't get it. Nice tap rebound there by Martindale. They're saying out on the Huskies. Martindale can't believe the call. Pretty good effort by him, because that wouldn't have even been a question of whose ball it was had Martindale not been there. Throw in Thomason. Great matchup again all game long. Welsh on Thomason. Drake grabbed, fouled. All kinds of fouls all game long for the Big Reds. They had 9 to end the first half. They have 7 now. Huskies, if you're wondering right now, by the way, have 5 team fouls. That's the second personal foul. On the Huskies, number 14, field goal. So not in foul trouble at all there. Thomason off the inbound. Huskies forced to foul him until they get in the 1-and-1, really. That's what it comes down to now, with 1:07 left in the fourth. Well, one more. I think they're going to inbound foul him again and then take their chances the rest of the next minute, or what exceeds the next minute, with free throws. As now, yes, they're going to the 1-and-1, as Willie Jefferson will shoot it. Bottom line is, if you're the Big Reds, you shoot free throws, you can win the game. That's all there is to it. Nail them, you go home. 5-point lead. 58-53. Field goal, by the way, another call on him. A 1-and-1. Missed the first one. Huskies have the basketball. Final minute. Big miss there if you're the Huskies. If you can come down and get a quick hoop. Welsh lost the basketball. Disgusted with himself. Mason quickly. High glass. No. Back come field goal. Now the Huskies pull up 3 and no. Almost got it. Great rebound Martindale though, but he's hacked by Drake. And Martindale will go to the line. I believe it's a 2-shot foul regardless. Call is on Jermaine Drake, third personal. Both teams in the 1-and-1 penalty now. Martindale, these have got to be makes if they want to stay in this basketball game. Misses the first one. Very, very disgusted with himself. But very aggressive game by Martindale. One of the more aggressive Huskies, I would say. Very chippy, kind of in your face, back and forth. Great rebounding by him and great putbacks, certainly. Great points off rebounding for Martindale in this game as well. Welsh hits the deck, almost gets the steal. Thomason hits the floor hard. The speedy Jermaine Drake back, but he can't get it. Lead is 4, 58-54. Welsh, end-to-end, fouled. Well, Big Red fans don't agree with that call at all. And either did Jefferson down low. I think they're calling it on. And he's saying, why? I was just standing there, but Coach Jamieson uses this little bit of free time as a quick little timeout possibly here, just to direct traffic. And we got a timeout anyway. So you never know the way it's going. 58-54, Huskies have now clawed back to 4. I'm not real shocked by that. They've been clawing, clutching, grabbing, getting hard-nosed baskets all night long. Those gentlemen have been on cam more than the Big D tonight. Well, that's interesting because the Big D has not been on cam tonight, but those gentlemen 4 or 5 times. Somebody down there likes those two, I don't know. There's the band. And the great cheerleaders. That's that Ken Simelsberger down there, bottom left. One of the assistant coaches of the football. It is Coach Simelsberger down there. Doesn't look overly happy with what he sees right now, does he? He's all right. Enjoying himself, as always. And good job there, Big Red cheerleaders off the break. 27.5 to go. And there I am. Yeah, Big D. Ox getting me. Big man, nice to see Ox. We were wondering if the Ox was going to come tonight. Showing up a little bit late, but hey, in the big man's case, better late than never. Plus, he's a technical marvel. I mean, the people here, they were really doing a good job, but they didn't have a lot of experience setting this stuff up. The Ox gets here, he says, no, this goes here, that goes there. Kind of knocks her all together, and after the Ox leaves, well, everything's set up nicely, and he's on cam over there right now. Diehard Michigan fan telling me earlier he thinks Harbaugh's coming. I like the sounds of that. And Welsh likes the sounds of this. He hits the first free throw, and the lead is now 3, 58-55. He's just got a sweet stroke, doesn't he? He knows how to flat out shoot. And you can tell by watching him, he's the kind of kid who spends a lot of time at it. 58-56, they have to foul, they do. It's Thomason. 9th team foul now on the Big Reds, the 8th right there on the Huskies. So still 1-and-1 situations. It's a 2-shot now the next time the Huskies go to the line. Thomason missed the first off the 1-and-1. That's big because now the Huskies can tie off the inbound. The Huskies call timeout. Big Reds were looking around. They thought maybe they fouled, but timeout as Welsh gets the ball. The Huskies have the ball with a chance to tie with 22.8 left in the 4th. Great game right down to the wire. Is it shocking? Is it surprising? I would say in some small way, yes, absolutely it is. Big Reds, I think, are going to be a very strong basketball team. Right now, I don't think they've reached potential yet, clearly. But the Huskies here, this is a huge game for them. Like I said, coming off that loss to St. Pat Sarnia, if they can somehow manage a go-home win here, wow, that would really, really spark their confidence here in the early going of the season. And I think they can. If you're the Big Reds here, I think the first thing you say, though, if you're Coach Landshut, do not, under any circumstances, let Welsh put one up from the 3. Do not let him get a clean look. Do not let him put an open 3 up. That's mandatory, I would think, at this point. And really, they work the ball all around. Welsh, Tanton Elliott, Martindale. But Martindale really the only strong threat to score here they've got on the court besides Welsh. But speed is how they get open. Manis has done it a couple times in this game. Final 20 seconds, folks. Here we go. Battle of Port Huron. Final 16 seconds, now 15. Martindale across the way to Welsh. 12 seconds left. Martindale thought about a 3, taking it in, the bump, and they're saying the foul first, and a tough one. Bobby Wright wore one there up the chin. His 4th personal. Now does Coach Landshut elect to take Bobby Wright out knowing it's his 4th? Just in case there might be an overtime. It's an interesting decision right now. If you're right, you can't be any more physical than you've already been because of that threat of fouling out. Martindale hits the first. He's got an opportunity to tie this basketball game. 10.2 left. They're going to check Bobby Wright out. They have to. Tremaine Lee checking in for him. They can't risk him fouling out just in case there's overtime. Well, no, they're not. My mistake. They're checking in Tremaine Lee for Malik Mason. They're leaving Wright in there. Bit risky, but he's got the size. We'll see. Martindale missed the second. And do we have a lane violation first on the Big Reds? I think they're calling it. Lane violation or a foul. Either way, the Pack's cheering like crazy. Martindale's going to go back to the line. I think that's what we have. The Pack is going nuts right now. Martindale gets another shot. That's what it was, a lane violation. He missed it anyway, right the rebound, and gets fouled. This is far from over, folks. 8.7. A 1-point lead, 58-57 Big Reds. The 9th team foul. This will be a 1-and-1. The last 1-and-1 of the 4th quarter comes right now. Very big foul shot, Bobby Wright. Missed it, off the rim. Rebound, Tanton Elliott. Final 7 seconds, now 6, now 5. Crowd is up, throws it off of Aaron Martindale. It's out of bounds, Huskies. Big Reds have the ball. Crowd was going insane. This, folks, is what the Big D loves, because this, folks, is what it's all about. Timeout on the court. 1 second left, or 4 seconds left, a 1-point lead. 58-57. They threw it out, but who's it even out on? Whose ball was it? Martindale just kind of couldn't believe it touched him last, or at least at the time I think he thought it did. But the crowd is very, very loud here, and you got them in the band. I don't think I've ever heard a more crazy crowd with one trip up court than we had a moment ago. Huskies were going quick. They knew they didn't have a lot of time. If anything, there's plenty of time here. They only cut into half the 8 seconds. So 4 seconds even on the clock here in the 4th. 58-57. And who gets to throw this ball in now? Some of the Big Red faithful now on the other side. Good crowd, good showing by them, as you'd expect. There's Coach Taddy in the upper left. Dave and Melanie. Malik Mason. It ends up in the Big Red's hands. He's going to throw it in. He does. To Jefferson, the foul. 3.4 seconds left. There is time, but it's going to be tough for the Huskies. It is now all 2-shot fouls. Everything is 2. Jefferson at the line to shoot a pair now. Foul there is on number 4, Brett Manis of the Huskies, his 4th personal, so he's in danger of fouling out as well. Jefferson, it's a 2-shot foul, missed the first. So in knowing that, there is definitely still a chance here for the Huskies. Regardless of if he makes this, there's still a chance to tie or maybe take the lead. Very, very big foul shot here. Again, Jefferson, he fills it. 59-57, they go up court quick and then they call a timeout to get the half-court throw in. That's very, very smart. Coming off the timeout. Very smart basketball by Coach Jameson's Huskies there. If you're the Big Reds, you almost defend full court in every area, every player, just for that possibility you don't want them to have. But I think they got it. They got to the full court, the half court, and then called timeout. So the inbound chance here, the Huskies, 3 seconds to try and tie the game. or maybe even, dare I say it, win it. Again, to reiterate my earlier point, you cannot allow Jared Welsh to shoot this basketball if you're the Big Reds. I don't care what it takes. He's the one guy who cannot shoot this one. Do you screen and roll if you're the Huskies to try and get him the ball? Do you somehow set a fake pick? One way or the other, folks, it all comes down to this. In Port Huron's big rivalry game. And it's been everything we thought it would be and more. A lot of people thought maybe a blowout. But the Huskies, to their own credit, certainly the Big Reds the favorite in this game, but you wouldn't know it the way the Huskies have played. Very aggressive game, and win or lose, Coach Jameson's going to take this group in the locker room and just tell them, great job, boys. And rightfully so, because they've played very well. Here's the throw in, Welsh. Final 2 seconds, now one, he's got to put it up, he does! Welsh, it goes off the front of the rim. Very, very close. Coach Jameson thought for sure he was fouled, but they're saying no. Off-balance shot by Welsh, but really a great effort that almost went in. The final score tonight, and a wild one from a wild crowd at Port Huron Northern. Port Huron High Big Reds barely pull out the victory. 59-57 over the Port Huron Northern Huskies. I am Derek Wark, the Big D, speaking on behalf of the entire cast of CPHS Channel 6, the Port Huron Area School District, and why not Santa Claus, because our last broadcast before Christmas. So, from the Big D, Santa, EJ Shea down there, and all the rest, Big D out.